Mark, deserved point in the end, yeah?
Yeah, very much so. But I think we can be a little bit disappointed that we didn't go on and win it. I think during the game, it's the first time we feel that we've been able to have any sort of meaningful possession. Where we've looked like we were in the game. So even though we went behind, you're in the game. There are a couple of things that we do generally, where we start to do things that are a little bit silly. So, McFadzean taking a free kick just 2 seconds before the break, kicks it against Bobby Thomas, and they nearly come through. And there's things like that can start to sort of put you on the back foot mentally. But we got in at half time 1-0, and you're in the game, you're well in the game, and the fact that we are means that there's a significant step forward been taken, and the fact that we ended up pinning them in for large parts of the second half, and certainly at the end when I made the changes, I think that had a benefit, because it re-energised us really, which was really important. We've spoken about Joel, obviously put him on at left side, change that again, but really if it's a two-step change, that's fine. But he actually did pretty well in there, so that's good. And it's good to see sort of live against a good side when we're in control of a game that he can do that job. So that's important. I think on with Milan coming on, Tatsu changing sides, it sort of gave us a different dimension, and they made the changes to try and nullify it. But I thought Milan was blistering. And really unfortunate. Goalkeeper's made a great save from him at the end when he's managed to get himself into a goal-scoring position. Tatsu's had a diving header. Ellis has had a shot. I think Yassin's had a shot. Their emergency defending was incredible. I think Jonathan Rowe got a block in the first half as well, and one that was goal-bound. So their emergency defending has been very, very good, and has sort of stopped us taking all 3 points and maybe even scoring 2, 3, 4 goals. So from that point of view, that's pleasing. The ball into the penalty area, the own goal. I think the quality on the ball meant that he had to head it. He had to head it, and thankfully we saw it in the back of the net. And the other thing is, it keeps your unbeaten record at home intact, which is it's huge. And on the back of the 2 games prior to this, this point is a big point then. So 7 points, 3 games, really good start, and we can look forward to building, and hopefully we can get players back fit now, so things start to look a little bit better after international break. I've got to say Jamie Allen, and certainly Jamie, because he's been out for so long, has shown unbelievable fitness levels. Josh Eccles the same. Yassin came onto a really good game in the second half. He's learning all the time, and the others obviously with Hadji and Ellis worked really hard to try and stop them from playing out, and they were always a threat. And then obviously Matty coming on for Hadji gave us another bit of freshness, and looked like he could contribute to a goal as well. So that's what you're looking for. If you're making changes, you've got to look for the contribution to be significant, and they've all done that today. So I've got to be pleased with the point, but a little bit it's tinged with a bit of disappointment because of the way that we played, and we could have won.
And just go back to the strikers, you meant, Matty and one of either of the two, it's a certain dynamic, isn't it? And there's a different dynamic when they play the big lads. What was you thinking behind that, and how do you think they can develop?
They need to develop. Tactically, they're okay. They were okay today against a side that play out. So, but the more they play together, the more they're going to learn. The more they learn about each other, the more they'll learn in the game. And whilst you're playing against different opponents, each challenge is slightly different. There are a lot of teams that are playing out, and you've got to make sure that you move at the right time, in the right way. You've got to learn to do 2, 3 jobs rather than just one. If the ball goes somewhere, you've got to go and do that, but block it. There's a lot of nuances to it. So we are in that process. We're learning, but they've done pretty well in the game. And as I say, that's probably the best and the most we've been in a game against Norwich since I've been here.
And how did you feel Tats did in a sort of rare start? Showed his versatility by being able to switch to the left as well, didn't he? And he looked exciting on the ball.
I think he's done okay, yeah. I think he's done all right. I still like to see him more positive. There was times when he was 1v1 with Sam McCallum, and he chose to come back. Whereas he can destroy people. You know, I'm looking forward to seeing that when he gets his confidence and he does that. I mean, he's put a couple of pretty good balls in. Ellis has got his head on one of them, just didn't get it on target, but there's been some good plays. Keeps possession pretty well. He'll find the spare man genuinely a lot of the time. He's clever, but he's versatile as well. As you see, both sides, but he can play as you've seen him play in the 10. So he's versatile, but he's got a lot of quality. A really good lad, really good.
And Kitch was his first start, and I guess you just sort of using your squad, I guess, with 3 games in a week.
Yeah, and Binksy hasn't done it. You know, I thought he looked a bit tired towards the end of the game against Blackburn the other night. So not starting is okay. You can come on and use them, and it was always going to be about energy. You know, they've had 2 long journeys this week. You know, Swansea then up here, and 2 days recovery. It's difficult. We've done it already with Hull and Cardiff. You know, so we know what it's like. So we're pleased with the way that we played. Really pleased with the way that we played. Just a little bit disappointed we didn't take one of the other chances at the end of the game.
And in terms of your injuries, great to have Milan back. Are you hopeful that, you know, come a fortnight ahead of Bristol, you can have Casey or Ben knocking on the doors?
I don't know. Is the honest answer. I don't know. So we've just got to wait and see. They're pushing. You know, Ben's really pushing. You've seen him on the grass. So I think with Casey he's slightly different, but he's you know, again they're all trying to get themselves fit, but the bodies are different, the injuries are different, and the time it takes therefore will be different.
But I guess the international break's come at a good time in terms of being able to get people.
Yeah, there's going to be some training next week. Then we'll have an in-house game when we come back in, and I'm going to give some downtime, some much needed downtime, really, to keep people away and give them a break, and then get everybody back in. But there are some sessions next week for some of the individuals that need it.
I just finally from me, just I understand Trav's leaving. He must have been here 15 odd years, something like that. You say something nice about him?
What? I've said enough nice about him, haven't I? I've said enough nice. Have you read the programme? He's been here for 15 years. He is. I'll really miss him because he's been somebody that's been really important, key to a lot of the things that we do, pre-match, post-match, and everything in between. Really, he's just a decent human being, and to get that, and somebody who's got the talent that he's got as well. I mean, it's a real shame, you know. But he's in a position where he's got to make a decision for family reasons, and wants to spend more time at home and do that, and we respect that fully. And you know, like I say, he's worked here for a lot of years with absolutely nothing, you know, and now he's starting to get things, and he's decided to move on. He's sod's law, but he's he will be missed. He's brilliant. He's been brilliant for me, brilliant for the club.
He's seen off a few managers as well, hasn't he?
He's seen off a few, and I'm the first one to see him off. Yeah. Bless him. All right.
I was going to say, Mark, I mean, it's as near as damn a quarter of the way through the season. Now, considering the way you had to reshape the squad and the injuries, you must be reasonably happy with the progress you've made already.
Yeah, I think so. I think we're on the right track. I think that, honestly, the work that's gone into it is incredible. So, you know, there's a lot of work goes on behind the scenes and continues to go on. I think we've got a really good group together. They're learning about each other, and you can see that some of the football we're playing now is really good, and that will get better and better all the time. And you've got to remember, previously we've had a group together for 4 years who were promoted together. Yeah. You know, so they knew each other inside out. They had those shared experiences, so the bonding was done, you know, throughout that process. So there's still a bit of work to do. We went out at the start of the week on Monday together, had a meal and did some temping bowling, you know, varying degrees of success for some, and but that was good. So it's just the start of the process, really, and 7 points from 9 we'll take.
But I mean, evenings like that, I mean, especially if you've got the bumpers up so the ball don't go down the top, they are good for team bonding, aren't they, those sort of things?
Yeah, those things are. You go out and you and obviously it was players against staff, so
who won?
You know, that was good. It wasn't the players. So it was really good, Went out for a bite to eat, and then they went home, and it was a really early finish. So we trained and did that. It was good, really good. So there's more of that to come. And like I say, that we just get a bit of a breather now before it goes again. Bristol, Rotherham.
I suppose you hope that'll help you to skittle the opposition.
Very good.
No.
Yeah, very good.
Is
that it?
I was going to ask you, you mentioned Jamie Allen. I mean, it's quite an incredible story in a way, you know, after what he went through in the summer, to come back and play 3 games like that in such a short space of time.
He's done so well to get to the. I mean, he'll feel, if you ask him today, he'll say I didn't play very well, but he did. You know, he did, and he was there, and he blocked off, and he moved it, and the fact that he was in positions to break attacks up and start us on other attacks, and his role was slightly different as well. So, yeah, I thought he was good, decent performance, and probably deserved to win it in the end. All right.
Cheers, guys. Thank you.
Thanks, Mark.